Hey everybody, Jay Cook here with Apply and Create. Today we're going to build a random item picker. So we're going to take a list of items and just pick one at random. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jcook.mn. Okay, so getting into it, we're in our code editor. I'm using Atom. You can use whatever you'd like. And I have just a standard HTML document open here, and I built out the structure for our little application. Just have a couple headlines, a space for we're going to take a show. We're going to take a list of shows and pick a show, so I have a space for where the show is going to go, and then a button to get the new show. So the idea is a user can come in here, they want to find a new show to watch, they can click the button and get a suggestion. You can see over here I just have the headlines and a section tag and the area for the show and the button and a section tag, and the button is actually just an anchor tag with some CSS applied to it. And we have a JavaScript file which you can see is being loaded right here. And in here I just have a couple things just to get us started so we don't have to waste time on them. I have our text area for our show as a variable called text area. I have a list of shows that is an array that we can go through, and then I just have the basic structure for a function called getShow. So the first thing we're going to want to do is have our button run our getShow function. So we can just come into our anchor and add a attribute called onClick and do getShow, and then invoke it with our parentheses. So that way now every time we click this, everything between these brackets is going to be executed, which is awesome. So now we should be able to spend the rest of our time in JavaScript. So the first part of this is probably going to be the trickiest part, but we'll get it out of the way. We want to grab a random item from our list. We don't want to just go in order every time. We want to grab a completely random one. So what we're going to do is create a variable. We're going to do let random pick. And we want to set this to show list. This is the variable, the name of our array. And we are going to use something called mathFloor and mathRandom. So the syntax is going to look like this: math.floor, math.random. So what mathRandom is doing here is it's going to select a random number between 0 and 1 for us. And mathFloor is going to round it down to the nearest integer. So in the case that we didn't get an integer back, which is basically like a whole number, this is going to round it for us. And then after random, what we want to do is a asterisk, and we want to take our show list again, which is our list of shows, and do length. So alternatively, like right here, you could say 4, and what this is basically going to say is it's going to get a random number between basically 1 and 4 for us, and instead we're going to say take the length of show list, so however many items is in here, and pick from that. So in this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in our show list, so it's basically going to say take a random number between 1 and 5 for us. So once we have this, we can take our text area and use inner HTML, which is going to insert some text into our text area for us, and we're just going to send it to random pick. Oh, rookie mistake. I set my random pick to a string as opposed to, there we go. Perfect, so we click, we get a show, works as expected. So now, thinking through the process, we might not want to show the same show twice. We want them to be able to get each show one time, and that's it. So in that case, what we can do is we can take whatever we grabbed from the array and remove that from the array at the same time. So let's create another variable. I'm going to call it ind for index. And we're going to take our show list, and we're going to use the index of property. We're going to say the index of random pick. So this is going to tell us, because right now what's happening here is this is it's grabbing show list. Like, this is essentially like if you take out the random number stuff here, this is saying show list, and then grab an index, basically grab an item from this list here. So that's grabbing the item, but we don't necessarily know what index or number item that is being grabbed. Okay, so we got the index of our randomly picked item. Next, what we'll do is take our show list and use the splice method. We're just going to take 2 arguments. Basically, the first one is going to be where to start. So if we say 0, that's going to start at the beginning at index 0. And then the next one is going to be how many more spaces to take after that. So if we said 0, 1, that's just going to take this first item. If we said 0, 2, it's going to start at 0 and take the first 2 items. In this case, we want to take our index as the first argument and say 1. So this is going to say whatever one we grabbed, take that index and only remove that one. So if it grabs this one, take that one, remove that one. And just to make sure that what we're doing is working, let's go ahead and log this to our console. We'll log our show list to our console every time this runs. Okay, so here I am in the browser. I'm going to pull up DevTools real quick just so we can see the console, and we'll give this a try. You can see we have 4 items left in our array, and if we click this again, we should be down to 3 items, and then to 2, and to just 1 left, and this is working. Unfortunately, if we keep clicking, we just have an empty array that we're trying to access stuff from, and we're going to get undefined, which is not an ideal user experience. So back in the code here, what we can do to take into account for that is write a simple if-else statement, or just an if statement. What we want to do is take our show list and check the length of it, and we want to do a strict equals and see if it is 0. Alright, if it is 0, if it's empty, we will take our text area and just give it a message like something different. We'll say we're all out of shows. Okay. And then we can add our else statement here and put all of this in the else. So this should only run until our array is empty, and then if our array is empty, we should be getting we're all out of shows. So I'll go ahead and save that and open it up in the browser. Here we are, we'll refresh, give this a try. We're at 4 left, 3 left, 2 left, 1 left, nothing left, and it works. We're all out of shows, and clicking, nothing's happening. This is the desired experience. Hey, thanks so much for watching. This was Apply and Create. Stay tuned if you are interested in anything along the lines of web development and design. I'm JCookMN. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JCookMN. Please like if you liked this video and subscribe if you feel like it.